It's not a game, it's a rich thing.
And welcome back to the Pink and Max podcast, episode 8. We got week 8 of the NFL season. We have Victor Wembanyama taking over the NBA.
Got the World Series going on crazy.
It's a lot going on, Trey. We got a lot to talk about, and we're going to spend a lot of time really discussing more of the MLB because of the World Series, especially the 18-inning game that had happened in Game 3 in LA, on top of Victor Wembanyama's emergence. I don't even want to say emergence. He's been emerging for the last 2 years, his third year right now. But his first 3 games in the league have been utterly insane. But we're going to obviously touch on the NFL with a few topics. And I think one of the first ones we should really talk about is the New York Giants. Well, basically, what was their starting running back, Cam Scatterbo, dislocated his leg. His ankle, was it his foot or ankle?
He dislocated his ankle in the, I want to say, first quarter of the game. He was doing what was he doing? He was doing a little hitch route or a little triangle route. That's usually what some coaches call it. And he ended up getting caught under by Zach Bond's tackle, by the hip drop tackle, and he dislocated his ankle. Some very negative, but there is a little bit of a positive, believe it or not, for certain fans. The positive is, as crazy as the dislocated ankle looks, it's not the worst injury ever. It is an injury that you can end up coming back from, and it doesn't take a year to come back and stuff like that. It just depends on the ligaments. It depends on how everything is healing, how everything is going.
Yeah, so dislocations are really, they're tricky because
they are.
A lot of the times ligaments will get torn. So Cam's ligaments definitely got screwed after he dislocated, just by the way it looked. And also, like, I saw a video, it was a doctor talking about it, he's going to be out. He's going to be out, but he's going to be back. This isn't the worst anybody's ever seen. We've seen broken tibias.
They said no.
The NBA.
This isn't the worst anybody's seen. This is literally Dak Prescott's injury when he broke his ankle against the Giants all over again.
Yeah, so
and he came back perfectly fine.
Cam's gonna be fine, but it is a massive blow to the New York Giants and the fans. But
it is.
You got to look at it like this. All right, a few weeks ago, Malik Neighbors tears his ACL. That sucked. Okay,
that one hurt.
And now this happens. The New York Giants have had the most roller coaster of a season of any NFL team.
It's just rough.
Any team, you could argue. You started out with the first 2 weeks with Russell Wilson looking like he was actually a really good starting quarterback.
No, correction. Just the second week.
Well, still, second week, 450 yards, 5 touchdowns. It was a good game. Then he gets benched. Now here comes the lows. Oh, man, what are we going to do? Throw Jackson Dart in. He's starting to emerge. Malik Neighbors tears his ACL.
Right, his wide receiver 1 tears his ACL. Then right after that, he goes ahead, beats the Eagles, almost beats the Broncos. And he's giving, him and Cam are the people that give this whole team life. And
Cam goes down.
And Cam goes down. Now, here's the part where I think everybody is. Here's what I want to see. I just want to see at the end of the season, I just want to see Dart just, I just want to see him play consistently.
Play freely, I think.
Just play freely and consistently good. I think if he plays freely and consistently good, I think it will be a little bit more of a positive going into next year. Because next year, then you get everybody back. And then you also can get more weapons included onto that. And from what people are saying, everybody's like, oh, I think Dayball should be fired and this. And honestly, this is what Jackson Dart is right now is Brian Dayball's work. So I can't sit here and fire a coach that is giving this young quarterback a chance to succeed. And not only is he giving him a chance to succeed, he looks really, really good.
No, he does. Jackson Dart, if he can continue this, he has the potential to be a star.
Let that coach. I think they got to let Dayball finish coaching him. I think they got to give him a chance with an actual quarterback, not give him a chance with a Daniel Jones that wasn't playing good for us.
It's gonna be really interesting to see how the rest of Dart's rookie contract goes. So we have about another 3-4 years of Jackson
we definitely
Dart
do because
it's going to be really. I'm very, very curious to see what's going to happen and how long Daboll is going to be around throughout that rookie contract as well.
I'll tell you what, if they end off the season on a decent note this year and it's not completely awful, I think he'll stay. And then next year, I think is the year where he has to, I think next year is a playoff year. I think you can't miss the playoffs. And if you do, it cannot be by going under 500. I think next year is your year. You get all your stars back. You get top guys back. You could get more pieces. You need a wide receiver too. You're probably going to get that. You need a cornerback. You're probably going to go get that. You're going to go get serious positions of need. You need to be able to go out and go get it next year. You need to be able. You can't let this young talent go to waste. You can't let some of these guys that are in their prime go to waste. Brian Burns, Kayvon Thibodeau, even Abdul Carter. You can't let all these guys' talents go to waste.
No, I definitely agree.
And that's what I'm going to leave it at. That
I definitely agree. And I love how you brought up the defensive side of the Giants because our next topic is one of the best defensive ends in the league.
Oh, no, not one.
If not the
best defense.
Miles Garrett had 5.
Most dominant man I've ever seen.
I repeat, 5 sacks
And
against the New England
they
Patriots.
lost by, I'll tell you how much they lost by.
I have it right here. They lost by almost 20 points, 19 points, 32-13 this past Sunday against the Patriots. Now, we have to give Drake May some credit. He is their franchise quarterback now. It only took them 6 years to get their new quarterback. You got to give them credit.
He is their franchise quarterback. But what I will say about that, the Browns got to do a better job of giving that man help because a game like that where you have 5 sacks, if Michael Parsons has 5 sacks right now with the Green Bay Packers, what happens? They probably blow the doors off of a team right now, right? So
you're saying it's the secondary?
I'm saying it's the secondary. I'm saying it's the whole offense as a unit.
Yeah.
Well, first of all, the offense. The problem is you have a star running back right now in Quinshon Judkins. I think he's a star running back. I think now that Cam Scadaboo's out, he's the next thing besides Ashton Genty. Which honestly, Genty was kind of scaring me now because Genty don't got no help on that team, and that's the one thing that I always told people I kind of feared about. But now you have Quinshon Judkins, Dylan Gabriel, and remember I told you this. I said it to everybody. He is not anything of a good quarterback.
And I didn't make any comment. I didn't agree.
No, I agree.
Nor did
I know what you said.
I didn't agree nor disagree. I want to bring this point up.
I know. I'm just saying.
No, I know what you're saying. I just want to bring this point up really quick. I don't think it was a bad decision to put him in first.
I don't either.
Because he was an earlier draft pick than Shador. I stayed quiet. I have my own opinions on Shador. Now that we've seen about 2 to 3 weeks of Dylan Gabriel, I am on the Shador Sanders train. But I told you I just needed to see it.
But here's where we agree. Because remember when we talked about it, this is what I was going to say. Because I'm not disagreeing with you. I fully agree. But you know what I was going to say? I'm basically saying I wasn't mad that he was the first person to get put up. Even now, do I think Shador had a better preseason than him? Absolutely. But he got drafted higher, like you said. Yeah. There's a lot more money into him than Shador Sanders. I can't get mad at that. And we talked about it that's the one time when I will use the business standpoint for a sport that I care about. Because in that term, you can't let money sit down. And that's
100%.
That's my one thing. And so I agree with that. But my thing was, personally, I said a few weeks back on our pod, I said, if he does not perform to a standard where they can win games from him, not because their defense is elite, but from him, that is a problem. And that's where I'll go because their secondary, like we were saying, their secondary isn't all that bad. That's not the problem. I'm not saying their secondary is bad. They have one of the best corners in the league in Denzel Ward. I think Denzel Ward's a problem. I think he's one of the best cornerbacks in the league. I think they got good safeties and like Grant Delpit and then they got an amazing defensive line. I think Mason Graham, who came out of Michigan, the D tackle is only going to get better playing next to Myles Garrett. He's going to become a dominant monster next to Myles. But the question is, how long is Myles going to stay in a system like this where he vividly said, and this is not quoting him, this is basically what I'm hearing he's saying, but he's not going to say it exactly the way he wants to. How can I win a football game by myself when my offense can't do their job right?
And so he has every right to criticize that, especially after his performance.
Who can tell him
judge
anything?
Him for that.
Who can tell him anything at that point? You can't sit here and say
the man has 10 sacks.
You can't say, "Hey, Myles." You can't say something like that. I wish you would say something to Myles Garrett after what he's doing right now. And my problem is with people talking about Myles and like how he should leave and stuff. He's trying to be loyal, but Myles can't be loyal to a franchise that isn't loyal to anybody else. They weren't even loyal to Baker when he low-key brought him to the playoffs.
Yeah, no, loyalty makes no sense when it comes to the Cleveland Browns because look at how many quarterbacks they have had in the last, you could say 10 years, you could say 20 years. There's zero consistency when it comes to that team.
I
and
agree.
we talked about this last week and maybe 2 weeks ago. The last time they made the playoffs was 2 years ago, right?
Yes.
Correct me if I'm wrong.
I
It wasn't
think it
even
was-
a quarterback they drafted.
I think it was no, definitely
it was Joe Flacco.
It was Joe Flacco. Now, here's my question towards you, towards the Cleveland Browns. Just a quick little question.
Talk to me.
Do you think the spark and the confidence of Shedeur Sanders will cause this team to play better?
If he can like bring in a spark,
Do
because
you think he will give a Jackson Dart effect? Not in terms of skill, but in terms of them wanting to play better for him.
I think he can. I do think he can. I'm not going to lie, and it's more of a mentality standpoint. Now that we've gone through the experiment of Joe Flacco before, and then seeing how Dylan Gabriel can perform. I think it's time to bring in Shedeur Sanders just to see how he performs and let him. It's tricky, all right? I think he can make an impact. That is my personal opinion. I don't have any fact behind that. That's the thing, which is why I'm very iffy when I give these type of when I have these conversations. It's weird.
So I'm going to tell you how I personally feel like he can make an impact before we move on. I think that Shedeur can make an impact personally just off of not only his character. When we watch Jackson Dart, I'm just saying quarterbacks. I'm not saying he is as good as these quarterbacks. When we watch Lamar Jackson, Patrick Mahomes, you know what all these dudes bring to their team? They bring energy, they bring juice, they bring the confidence that my expectation is to win a game. I'm going to go win a game. Now, if y'all can go do that with me, that's much appreciated, but I'm going to go win us this game regardless. And that's the kind of energy he brings. Now, whether he does it or not, he's still going to bring that energy. And guess what that leads to?
I agree. I agree
that
on that.
leads to receivers, running backs, wanting the offensive line, wanting to play for him. Because now, think about it. Would you want to block for somebody that can't get the ball out to somebody 5 yards out?
No.
So that's the problem.
I'm 170 pounds.
That's the problem with Dylan Gabriel. So Dylan Gabriel can't get the ball to certain people. It has to be the easiest throw in the world for him to get the ball to somebody. And even then, everything he says in the media, like, it doesn't sit right with me. It's like you're not taking accountability. I've never heard you once say, that's on me. I got to play better. I've heard, I mean, our guys, we got a couple drops. We got a couple. Why is that not on you ever?
Now,
That leads to team problems.
the accountability thing is interesting because correct me if I'm wrong. When Shedeur was in Colorado, he didn't have much accountability either.
But towards what specifically?
Well, towards his team.
So with that team in Colorado, we really got to think about it. He definitely did take the blame for a few things that happened.
He did,
Now,
but I'm
there's
just saying on the
only-
topic of accountability.
But when I think about Shedeur Sanders, you know what I think of? I think about that Myles Garrett situation. I think there's only so much accountability you could take before you're like, I can't do nothing else.
That's
and I
fair.
think his offensive line was so mediocre and so awful that if he had a game where he didn't throw well or didn't play well, it just got to the point where, like, what do you want me to do? I'm getting sacked like 18 times a game. I can't live out here. I can't survive.
Yeah.
Like, that's not on me. And our defense can't get any stops. They can't sack anybody besides Travis. We can't really play defense. You know what I mean? That's where I view personally with him, because when he came into the league and he played that preseason game, he said, I got to play better. That's the first thing he said after he had a good preseason debut. He said, I got to play better. That's what you want to hear out of young quarterbacks. You want to hear there's always room for improvement. You know what I mean? There's always room for improvement. There's always room to get better. And that's where I'll leave it on that, because that's what I think that the Cleveland Browns could get from him. And I think that they can end the season off not going 500 or anything. I'm not saying nothing crazy. I'm just saying I think the Cleveland Browns can end the season off on a positive leading into the future.
I could see that. And Shedeur, I want to see how Shedeur plays in a regular season. But if I was a betting man, I could see him. I could see him definitely performing better than Dylan Gabriel.
I can see him. So you want to know a crazy fact about the Browns? There hasn't been a Browns starting quarterback on their debut game to win a game in 17 quarterbacks, I think. I think they're 0-17. If he goes
quarterbacks'
there,
debut games.
in quarterbacks' debut games for the Cleveland Browns, I saw that stat during their game one time. If he goes out there and wins the first game of his debut, he's already idolized as something. Like, that's ridiculous. Even Baker didn't do that. But Baker, But my thing about Baker, what I will say about Baker is they didn't really give him a lot when he first went to Cleveland. I think it was a Caleb Williams situation. I think it was the Cam Ward situation right now. I don't think they gave him enough, and that's why where he's at right now in Tampa, he's
thriving. He's an MVP. He's an MVP.
He is, absolutely. And I just think that's my personal opinion.
No, and that's completely valid. But let's move on because I could talk about Shedeur Sanders and if I was a betting man, I could see him being really good. I'm sure some people may think that contradicts what I said a couple of weeks ago about him. But that's just me criticizing.
Everybody has an opinion about how they feel about people.
And it was just me criticizing him in Colorado. It has nothing to do with him in the league.
It has nothing to do with his play. It has something to do with his personality.
Yeah.
And that's a respect.
I want to make that clear.
There's people that you hate their personality, but they're good at the game.
So, yeah.
I hate Tyrese Halliburton's personality. He's low-key nice as hell. I can't get mad at that.
So, but we're going to move on really quick, and I want to touch on this topic for a couple of minutes. Yep. So the New York Jets won their first game this season after starting the season 0-7. So no paper bag for me, thank God. I was really worried for a second. But
I kind of wanted to see it.
But the crappiest part is that they won on one of the worst possible days. Nick Mangold died at 41 years old.
The day where they had to win.
They had to win.
They had to win.
All right. The reason why I say it that way, all right, is that why is it that a tragic event
has to happen in order for you to get a win?
Yeah. Nick Mangold died at 41 years old, 10 days after asking New York Jets fans and the New York community for a potential match for his kidney. And
rest in peace to that man. That man's a pure legend. New York Jets.
So I'm a Jets fan. I've been a Jets fan the entirety of my life, and this shit hurt. I'm not gonna lie. This really bothered me. I did not know any offensive linemen growing up on the New York Jets. All I knew was the Brickashaw Ferguson and Nick Mangold, and Nick Mangold stuck with us from
thick and thin.
Yeah, the AFC Championship games with Mark Sanchez and almost making the playoffs and going on that run with Ryan Fitzpatrick in the 15-16 season.
I agree.
I remember him when he was a rookie coming out of Ohio State when the Jets drafted him in the first round. And I remember when he was thinking about signing with, I think it was the Ravens, but he decided to sign a one-day contract so he can retire a Jet, which is why he's in the Ring of Honor, and that is why he's going to be a Hall of Famer either this upcoming year or next year.
Forever a Jet. And I think the main thing that kind of got me a little emotional towards it and a little sentimental towards it, I've never hated the Jets. Obviously, I have many people that are Jets fans, including you, and I've always said supported the Jets in a way. I've always said, good luck to y'all, always. And I've always had love for that guy because I feel like that's a true epitome of a guy that's loyal, and that's a loyal guy right there. And the one thing that kind of hurt me a little bit towards it was seeing Rex Ryan break down on TV.
That one
talking
was
about
hard
it. That's
to watch.
A guy, because you could just hearing it gave me chills because I'm like, it shows that's a guy that was never going to give up on you. And seeing that Rex Ryan knew he was going to get fired, he knew there was nothing left for him, and he's like, I'm going to play for you. I'm hurt, but I'm going to play for you.
A lot of people were hurt. Big Cat from Barstool was talking about how they had just had him on the show to talk about the transplant or a potential transplant and how he's just an awesome dude. You see him at New York Rangers games downing beer whenever he's on the Garden Vision. He's downing beer when he's at the Jets game.
He's the countryman that everybody loves. That's the best way I can explain.
So I'm not even talking about the Jets here. They won by 1 point, all right? It was a great comeback win. They were down by 14 at one point of the game.
Yeah. And they came back and they won that game. That was all Nick Mangold's.
That was strictly Nick Mangold was lined up against with the entire line to win that game for the New York Jets. And I'm not going to talk about I'm not going to talk about Justin Fields. I'm not going to talk about Garrett Wilson didn't even play. I'm not going to talk about anybody.
Exactly.
Rest in peace, Nick Mangold. The Jets are 1-7. On a lighter note, they're probably going to finish 1-17 now or 1-16. But I'm okay with taking this win. Even if people were like, "Oh, we should tank," I'm okay with getting this win. Now, that one sucked when I found the news, but rest in peace, Nick Mangold.
Rest in peace, Nick Mangold. And before we get on to our next topic, which is, I think it's the MLB.
Yeah, we're going to talk about the MLB.
I want to take a quick couple minutes just to talk about my personal take on the Giants versus Eagles games. This won't be long, I promise, guys. I think watching that game, and everybody saw it, I think if the tush push is not banned, that's all I want to say. If the tush push is not banned after that, I don't know what will ever be.
I want to chime in on this because I agree, and I agree based off one play, and that was when it should 100% been a fumble, but the ref called it dead for some reason because Hurts was still up. That made no sense to me.
The sad part is about it all, Thibodeau's going to get fined for what he said in that press conference and saying it was some BS, and then he said, oh, sorry, the refs did a great job. He's going to get fined for that, but what he said was not a lie. What else do you want that man to do? I would be upset if I was in his shoes right now. That's a fumble recovery. That's something that changes my team's outcome.
Yeah,
that could change the outcome of the whole game. Maybe things don't happen if that happens.
That situation's rough, and
it is.
I agree with you 100%. Off of the false starts that have been going on, I
try to give it the benefit of the doubt.
Me too. I
try to, especially even with the false starts, because I'm still like, without the false start, with the false start, I don't think you stop it. But if you have a person do that and it still doesn't get banned, then that just means that you guys are too invested into this to let it go.
Now, to play devil's advocate, I can't really blame the tush-push play for what happened. You have to blame the ref. That was a crappy call on the ref. That was crappy on the ref side.
What did I say before we came on air? Before we came on air, me and Max were talking about this. What I specifically said, this play should not be involved in football because the refs don't know how to referee.
Yes,
they don't know how to officiate. Exactly. And is that a player's fault? No. But because the refs struggle so much with officiating it, you can't put this in. That means that's more work on the refs, and that's more problems for the refs.
Yeah, so
that's more fines for them because they get fined for every time they mess up a call that bad.
This is an NFLPA conversation along with the referee committee or whatever they're called. The tush push needs to be talked about because, all right, it goes against what I just said, but banning it, I'm kind of for banning it. But if you were to keep it in, you need to have like a crash course on how to officiate, on how to properly officiate.
It should be a regular QB sneak. It shouldn't be all that extra stuff.
No, I don't. No, like I think the tush part of the push.
I think the tush part is the worst part of it all. I think that part is unfair because how quick they blow the whistle dead. If you're gonna blow the whistle dead, normally think about it. When a quarterback is running somewhere, right, and they're trying to move the pile, what do? They blow the whistle dead immediately once they get touched, right?
Yeah.
This case, your quarterback is gliding into it. Now, instead of you blowing the whistle dead once the play happens and he's getting wrapped up or anything, right? Two guys, a tight end and Saquon Barkley, who is one of the strongest running backs in the league, go and shove him forward, and that's like an extra 5 seconds of just hold. That's not fair.
But that's what I'm saying, and this is where I agree with you with what you were saying earlier. Yes. You need to, if you're going to keep it, learn how to officiate it. Yes, allow that to happen, but you need to have like a rule on how you're going to officiate it. You have to have
standards for it. There has to be some form of legal formations for it if it's not done exactly right. Because if you want to do a play that's complicated to stop because you want to under officiate it, it has to be complicated to do.
Yes.
And that's how I feel about it.
The tush part, I don't think there's a problem with it. My problem are the false starts and how the refs call the play dead. They should let the play. All right, here's my take. If you leave the tush push in, right? Wait until the runner's on the ground. I agree. I think that's how it should be.
That's why what happened to Thibodeau in that case was bad. And I think that the tush push is the game changer in either way. Yeah. It could be a game changer for the other team just as much as it is for the Eagles. But you're holding it to only it being good for the Eagles and never being good for the other team. And I don't agree with that. And that's where I think it should get banned until they understand how to officiate. Then you could bring it back. But until then, they need to take some courses on how to figure out how to officiate this fully right.
I don't think they'd ban it. I think they just look at the
heavy down. But the problem is
they look at it in the offseason.
I was about to say, because the problem is if they wanted to do better on it, they would have started the week after the guy jumped off sides the first time. But they kept letting it slide. This previous play that just happened, guess what they're going to do? They're going to keep letting it slide. They're going to keep letting it slide.
They're going to have to. Unfortunately, they're going to have to right now.
It's never going to get better. Until you do something.
Unfortunately, it's not going to happen. All right, so how can I say this without sounding rude? It's not going to happen this year because the league is in the middle of the season.
Yeah, I agree.
It's not going to happen for that reason. Banning it in the middle of the season, I personally think is a bit absurd, no matter how much I agree that it should be heavily officiated. Now, what I think should happen is as soon, literally, once Super Bowl, what is this going to be, 56, 57? Like yep. Once this upcoming Super Bowl is over, immediately get into meetings with the NFLPA and talk about how the ref should be officiating this.
I agree.
I will say that. It's almost impossible to try and change a rule in the middle of the NFL season. They did that for the college football season with the fake slide. But CFB is a little more lenient when it comes to their committee and their officiating.
No, I agree. Absolutely. And I think that's where we'll end that takeoff. Yeah. I just wanted to get that out a little bit.
No. 100%.
Get everybody's thoughts. Everybody let us know about your thoughts. Personally, we love hearing about you guys' thoughts, your opinions, everything. Comment in the messages. Just let us know.
Yeah.
And we'll move on that note into MLB,
Holy
we'll save crap. NBA for last, and we'll move on to the World Series game. What was that, 3?
It was game 3.
Game 3, 18 innings.
So I'm sure if our 4 consistent followers watch, you know that we film on Tuesdays, all right? Tonight, we're filming a little later tonight, so game 4 is happening right now. It's actually 0-0 in the bottom of the second. But I want to talk about the first 3 games, all right? So the series started off in Toronto, and Toronto had
first game shocked a lot of people.
A statement win to start off the World Series, 11-4.
Absolutely,
the bats were loud.
They were
loud.
They were hitting.
All right. Then game 2 in Toronto, Shohei Ohtani shows up.
Yeah. Just when you said something, it's like he just had a trigger for you.
Oh, I apologize. He didn't show up. He went 1 for 4.
But didn't he hit a homer?
Nah, I don't think so. I don't think he hit a homer that game. Do you know?
He showed up last night, though.
I'll tell you what. He hit a homer. He hit 2 homers last night. Yeah. So the reason why I'm bringing this up, Monday night, okay, in Los Angeles, California, it is a 1-1 series in the World Series. I'm out. I'm getting some half off appetizers at Applebee's. I'm like, oh shoot, the World Series is on, and I'm sitting down. It's the 9th inning. It's 5-5. I'm like, all right, cool. I'll hop in the car. It's about a 5-minute drive back to the apartment. And by the time I show up, hopefully it'll be in extras, and I'll watch the rest. I'm listening on the radio. Cool. I hear Clayton Kershaw is in the bullpen. I'm like, okay, what's going on here? I walk in thinking I'm gonna watch like 20 minutes of baseball. Someone's gonna walk this off. I got home at 11:30. Trey, I didn't go to sleep until 2:30. No, 3 o'clock in the morning. The game ended at 2:30.
Yes.
It went into the 18th inning. This was an instant classic, okay? Instant classic of one of the most high-level defensive displays of baseball I have ever seen. I watched from the 10th to the 18th. I can only imagine how the first 9...
You basically watched the full game.
I watched a full baseball game. There was 2 baseball games in one, and I watched the second half of the doubleheader.
Hey, it's looking like a great series, and that game last night just says it all, how amazing this series is. And my personal take on it was, I did see a little bit of this. I didn't think that the Blue Jays were gonna, like, the first game they were gonna win like that, but I did see them putting up a big fight against the Dodgers because I knew that they were hitting so hot, they weren't gonna go out without swinging, and I think that leads to me wondering exactly, do you think the Dodgers are only pulling away with this because they know how to win in these close games compared to the Blue Jays where their only win was in a big blowout win?
I don't know if that's fair to say because Toronto was throwing haymakers at LA in the first 9 innings.
LA just do it.
Nobody, I can't say that. Like, all right, yes, Los Angeles knows they know how to close the game. All right, and here's why. I want to pull up his name. Okay, but as I'm pulling up this name, I want to bring up a couple stats that I know off rip. First of all, as a Yankee fan, I will happily say this, and I'm gonna catch a lot of flack for this, but I really don't care. Shohei Ohtani is the best player in baseball. Shohei Ohtani is the best player in baseball. A man who has 10 strikeouts and 3 home runs in a championship series, specifically the NLCS, okay? So because he had done that in the NLCS. That's unheard of, all right? You could argue Babe Ruth, but I highly doubt Babe Ruth was seeing 95 to 100 mile an hour fastballs, let alone 85, all right? I don't want to hear that. Shohei struggled a little bit in the last postseason when they won the World Series against the Yankees. Shohei Ohtani went 4 for 4 yesterday in Game 3, okay? 2 home runs, 2 doubles, and he got on base for an MLB, not a postseason, an MLB record-tying 9 times. He got on base 9 times. Do you know how absurd that is? Do you know that if a player is in the wild card, or even the DS, okay, the divisional round, some players don't even get on base 9 times if the game is even extended to 5 games for the DS, okay? This man did it in 1 game. Now, I will say, he got intentionally walked 4 consecutive
Wouldn't you
times.
after going 4 for 4?
4 consecutive times.
I would
he got
too. I would do it
intentionally
every
walked.
single
And
time.
then,
He's on a flamethrower.
and then I think it was the 17th. I think it was the bottom of the 17th. They decided to pitch at him, and they still walked him.
You can't do nothing about that, bro.
That is absurd. Oh my God, it's unbelievable. So that's on Shohei. But believe it or not, I personally don't think that he was the player of this game. A man by the name of Will Klein. All right, I'm sorry if I'm mispronouncing his name. Will Klein. He came into the game. I'm gonna butcher this. I think it was the 13th inning. Maybe 12th, 13th or 12th. He came in after Clayton Kershaw. He could not let up a single run because if he did, then the Dodgers are in trouble. This is a reliever who pitched 69, I think 70 pitches. Just letting you know, relievers pitch like 20 to 30. At most. That's like a lot for a reliever. This man pitched about 70 pitches, scoreless. He kept the Blue Jays silent. And he earned the win after Freddie Freeman walked it off for that homer in dead center. Will Klein is 100% the player of the game, and he wasn't even in the game in the regulation 9 innings. So what's even crazier about this is that they had Yamamoto warming up, the man who had just pitched a shutout not that long ago. And he's like, yeah, I'll play. I'll play. It's a 19th inning. Screw it. It's 11 o'clock. It's 11 o'clock at night in Los
players
Angeles.
are just different levels, bro. They're not normal, bro. They're so much different than United States players.
Granted, he didn't get in the game, but it's the fact of like, put me in. What I saw, I think, is a complete momentum killer to the Toronto Blue Jays. I think here's what's going to happen. Here's my prediction. It is a 2-1 series lead for the Los Angeles Dodgers at the time that we are recording this podcast on Tuesday, October 28th, 8:48 p.m. The Dodgers and the Blue Jays are currently playing Game 4 with a 2-1 lead. I think they will take a 3-1 lead in Los Angeles tonight. They're going to go back to Toronto. Toronto's going to take Game 5. And then Los Angeles is going to win the World Series in 6 games. That is my prediction. The momentum is completely on Los Angeles' side right now. The Blue Jays are going to win 1 at home for the fans, and then they're going to lose Game 6. Shohei Ohtani is going to be the World Series MVP. And Freddie Freeman is going to be idolized for yet another walk-off home run in the World Series. Dodgers in 6. Vladdy, you had an incredible season. Toronto, this was an amazing season to watch. And I'm saying that as a Yankee fan. But this series, in my eyes, is over. That was deflating. Whoever won that game, in my eyes, would have won the series. If the Dodgers won, they were going to win. No, if the Blue Jays won last night, they would have won in 7. But because of this is the game changer. The Dodgers are going to win the World Series. And I'm going to leave it at that.
Can't say nothing towards that, man.
So let's move on. We're going to talk about the NBA for a little bit. And then we're going to get to our your fantasy lineups. We're going to talk about my betting lines as well.
Okay.
We're going to talk about the BTA game of the week and the mystery man take of the week. He was pretty quiet this week, so I think we can skip that.
I think we can. Yeah,
so we're gonna skip that one.
He was pretty quiet this week. He just told me the one mystery man take of the week. I guess we could just say it really quickly. It wasn't really even a crazy take, but he was just upset because Tyler Shuck ended up getting checked into the game, and Spencer Rattler is currently benched for the Saints. So his young bull is playing. Good luck to them. Good luck to the Saints. I hope they win the rest of the year so they don't get a good pick.
Now, on to the NBA. All right. I want to save this specific topic for last. So I want to talk about the Knicks first. Okay. Obviously, we have to talk about the Knicks.
We have to.
All right. I made it clear last podcast that this is mine and this is your team to make it out of the Eastern Conference. All right. Yes. This is not just because we are massive fans, but just based off of how the team is operating, how the new system is looking early on. And I'm not going to lie, it's also because Tyrese Halliburton and Jason Tatum are hurt.
No, absolutely. But I think with this new system, if they were healthy, I think we would make it out. Only because what I will say about this new system, we look okay right now and we look decent. But wait until we get to that point. And that point after All-Star break when we click.
Yes.
Whenever we click, it's always dangerous. Now, when we clicked under healthy. When we clicked under Tibbs, it was a lot of ISO ball, and it ended up wearing us down. Mm-hmm. When we click under Mike Brown, I feel as if though this is going to take us to a further level. This is going to make us. We're playing a Pacers offense right now. If you think about it, the Pacers offense.
That's a great comparison.
The Pacers offense is fast-paced, high tempo. You got people like Obi Toppin. That's perfect for that. That's what Obi belonged in. Not with us playing slow ball with Tibbs. He belongs in a fast-paced Mike Brown, the Pacers type speed. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And that's what I love about it so much because not only is it fast-paced, because Mikal Bridges is the kind of guy like Obi Toppin. He's the kind of guy.
Hold up, real quick. Get to the mic.
Oh, sorry. Mikal Bridges is the kind of guy like that. OG Anunoby is the kind of guy like that. They're guys that will get out and go and get those fast break points. I think Mikal Bridges, like I said, I told you, I think he can average a smooth 8 to 10 points off fast break points alone. And we're kind of seeing that. We're seeing him get to those points easily. But my one thing is that I love about this offense that I love that the Pacers did against us that we didn't do and why they beat us last year. You want to know what that is? They let Tyrese Halliburton pick his spots on when to go off on us. Yeah. When to whoop our ass. Because what did we do? They said, let's let Jalen Brunson cook in the first half. Because we know he's going to kill us in the clutch. But guess what? We're going to save up Tyrese. So when he has to cook in the clutch, he got all his energy. We could go all night with him. Why were we not doing that with Jalen Brunson? Why did we not do that? Why did we not get Karl Anthony Towns involved? I think that whole series right there made no sense because think about it. If we verse that same team under Mike Brown's offense, I think not only does Jalen Brunson do what he does, Karl Anthony Towns gets involved. OG Anunoby gets involved. Mikal Bridges gets involved. Everybody that you wanted to get involved last year gets involved. We have a bigger rotation, and that's what killed us because the wear and tear is real.
It is.
Josh Hart should not be playing every minute of the game. That's unhealthy. That's why his fingers probably messed up to this day, and it will never be okay again because he's so used to running his body into the ground, and that's not okay. A healthy Josh Hart is very vital to this team, but we might not get that again because of the prowesses of Tom Thibodeau.
Oh, no, I think we're still going to get what Josh Hart was before.
I'm not saying going to get some time. We're not going to get that for at least the first half of the season. He has to get used to that splint. He has to get used to his hand being like that in order to get comfortable. I think it's going to take him a half of the season.
I think,
he's to the All-Star break.
For him to hit that extra gear, sure. But he still had 14 rebounds in the game. So
we're not even going to talk about that because he is who he is when it comes to rebounding. he's not normal.
Let's put credit where credit's due with Josh Hart. He's going to get a job done one way or another.
I was just talking about scoring. I wasn't even talking about that.
Yeah. No, Josh Hart scoring, honestly, we don't have him for scoring. Let's be completely transparent. All right, he's there for the minimal playmaking that he can do because Brunson's going to have the ball and then Clarkson's going to have it off the bench, and he's there for the small ball rebounding when we have a small ball lineup out there, especially since Mitch is hurt and when Cat's getting too tired. So Absolutely. Now I could talk about the Knicks forever. But there's a specific topic that I really want to talk about. That I have been talking about with you and another friend and my brother and a bunch of people. And it is absolutely terrifying to even discuss. And we talked about him before the season started.
This man is not from this world. We are going to say he is not from this world.
We talked about Victor Wembanyama before the season started and what he can do. Okay. I'm going to go first, and then you can go right after. Or unless you want to.
No, you please go first.
All right. I want to hear you. I'm not going to take your words. I'm going to make my own because you said something very unique that I would love to say. Can I have permission really quick?
Yes.
He's absolutely. A 2K created player. That is exactly what you said.
Oh, no, absolutely. Like, he's my player build right now.
He is a 2K.
My gamer tag is TayTayGXK.
Oh, really?
He's a TayTayGXK.
Really quick. A little update. Shohei Ohtani is pitching today, by the way, in Game 4, and Vladdy just took him deep off of his sweeper. So the Blue Jays are up right now.
1-0?
I got to see if anyone was on base. It's 2-1. The Dodgers had scored in the second inning, and Vladimir Guerrero Jr. just took Shohei Ohtani deep.
He's not going out without a fight.
He's not, and you know what? I respect it. I still stand by what I said, but I'm not saying that Vladdy is going out without a fight.
I think if it's a close game, the Dodgers are going to win it. I think if they start pulling away, I think if they start getting them bats hot, I think they're going to take it back to Toronto, and I think they're going to win this in 7.
So let's get back to the alien.
Yes.
All right. Sorry, I had to see that. I had to bring that up because
Vladdy
Vladdy going deep off Shohei. That's cinema right there. That's cinema.
That's Rotten Tomatoes score of 100%.
Yeah. So I'm gonna get back to Wemby now. All right. Well,
it's like, how do you talk about this man without getting chills?
All right,
I get chills just thinking.
I want the fans to hear you. Put your mic up really quick like this, okay? All right. I want them to hear you when you have your take, but I want to get this going. We had mentioned that he had gone to hang out with Kevin Garnett. Who the hell knows what he was talking about with him? He went with Shaolin monks for a significant amount of time. Jamal Crawford was teaching him handles, and maybe, I think it was either this season or last season, Hakeem Olajuwon was showing him footwork. Trey.
That was last season.
We're seeing,
he got hurt.
We're seeing everything from his training. Why? There's zero reason for a 7'5" man to be doing 360 layups, and that is not a joke. The clip is right here. Okay, I'm gonna put it on right here. All right, specifically for TikTok. Sorry, YouTubers, check out our TikTok and Instagram and YouTube Reels.
Go check that TikTok. Thought you was gonna get a free clip,
but a 7-footer shouldn't be doing 360 layups, let alone a man being 7'5". A 7-footer shouldn't have. He should have 2 blocks consecutively, but he shouldn't be able to bring the ball up the court, have a hezzy tween step back 3 and 1. That is not. I can't. All right, I'm not gonna say that's not real. Do you know what that is? That's not fair. It's not fair. I, as a Knicks fan, am terrified to play the San Antonio Spurs in those 2 games that we played them. And on top of that, you mentioned it earlier, Stephon Castle, dog. They have De'Aaron Fox. I don't even know how De'Aaron Fox is doing. Let me check really quick because I haven't gotten the chance to even look at him. All right, let's see. Where are you, Foxy? Where you at? Okay, he hasn't played. So
I told you, just Dylan Harper's.
So, but Dylan Harper's run. Dylan Harper drafts him. All right, Dylan Harper drafts. The Spurs draft Dylan Harper. I knew off rip. I was like, y'all just gave Dylan Harper a weapon, and he's a weapon in himself. He had 25 and 5. All right. But why is Wemby? I'm gonna name a couple stat lines for different games. This man had 45 points in the first game of the season off 30 minutes. 45 and 15 off 30 minutes. 30 minutes. Okay, that's a 45 minute. That's a 45-minute stat line. He did it in 30. 45. Okay, and then I think I don't remember the stat line for him, but I'm gonna look it up really quick. I'm gonna paraphrase it. In his second game, he had I think 30. Over 10 rebounds and 9, not assists, blocks. This is like laughter and like a little bit of tears. Like I'm kind of crying at the same time. Oh, I apologize. And then he against the Nets. Check this out. 31 points. I think this was the heavy tween step back three that he did this. 31 points. 9 of 21 shooting. That's not really that good. 3 of 6 from 3. At 7'5". 14 rebounds, 4 assists, which for a center, a big, that's good. 4 assists is good. But I don't think you should be getting 3 steals as someone who's over 7 feet tall. It's 6 blocks. You should be getting that, but I don't know about that. In the last 3 games, Trey, all right? In the last 3 games, he's had 16 blocks. Analyze that. I'm going to leave the floor to you. Have fun. Before I even bother. In those 3 games, he's averaging 31 points per game. 36% from 3, which is very good, by the way. 13.8 rebounds a game. 2.8 assists. You know, he's a center. You get that. 1.5 steals. That's very good. That's good. That's very good for guards.
It's very good.
4.8 blocks. Trey, take it away. Oh, my bad. In 32 minutes a game. You're up. I'm going to mute myself. I want to hear this. Make sure the mic can hear you too, because this is also my therapy session, because this is scary. Go ahead.
This is going to be my therapy session too. And I want everybody to hear me. Can you hear me?
Oh, you're loud and clear.
Okay.
I'm muted for this.
So you want to know what Wemby reminds me of, Max?
Talk to me.
Wemby reminds me of, you know, when you're a little kid playing at that basketball hoop that you loved in the backyard by yourself, and you're making unrealistic ass numbers up. Oh my God, I had 45, 13, 6 blocks. You're just putting the ball up and smacking the ball down.
Hold up, say the exact stat line you just said.
Oh my God, I have 45, 13, 9 blocks.
I think he almost had that stat for.
So you see what I'm saying?
He almost had that stat in the first game of the season.
You see what I'm saying? This is my problem.
I gotta see this.
What he is doing is so dangerous, Max.
I apologize. He had 40, 15, and 3 blocks. You're slightly off. Just slightly off.
Do you want to know what this... You want to know what his 2K build would be, Max, if I made this dude's my player?
What? Is there a name for it?
No. There would be a name for it, but I don't even know if I could pronounce it. It would be perimeter defense, lockdown defender, paint defender, interior scorer, 3-level scorer, limitless range shooter, assist playmaking god, slasher. We
didn't even bring up the type of dunks he's been doing, too.
No. Exactly why I said it. Now, you want to know what his comparisons would be, Max? He would have the mentality of Kevin Garnett, the finishing ability and rebounding ability of Shaq, the tweening of Jamal Crawford and Kyrie Irving, the shooting.
Go ahead.
The shooting.
A prediction on this.
He would have the shooting of Stephen Curry.
So, go ahead. I have something to say about that.
Not only would his 3-point be 99, you want to know what happened, Max? All his stats would be 99. He'd be a 99 plus 10 Gatorade boost on every single stat. That's how OP that is.
So I have a prediction because I'm so glad you brought up Steph Curry. Okay. My prediction is this.
Please don't say it.
Curry, I told you this before, but I want to say it for the fans. So Stephen Curry he's going to retire soon. Okay, he's 36, 37 years old. He's in the way back end of his career. He can still perform, don't get me wrong, but it's not crazy, and it's a fact to say his time is almost up, and it's sad to say.
Sorry, quick news before. I'm sorry. Josh Hart just hit a 3. Sorry,
I saw that actually. I was trying to keep my composure.
I was trying to keep my composure too, but I was so shocked.
But my prediction is this: Steph Curry's going to retire, and just like how Victor Wembanyama went to Kevin Garnett, we don't even know what he talked to him about, but we know he went to Hakeem for footwork. I mentioned this, and went to Jamal Crawford for ball handling. By the way, Jamal Crawford posted Wembanyama taking the ball up the court and doing a behind the back tween crossover, and all he put was a laughing emoji because that's all you can do.
You want to know?
Stephen Curry's going to retire, and he's going to give him drills for shooting. He's going to work him out, and when that happens, I'm going to listen. I'm gonna look at every player in the league because he made Anthony Davis look like a 6th grader. I'm gonna tell every player in the league, yo, put the fries in the bag because Victor Wembanyama, there's no stopping him. There is no stopping the man.
Do you want to know what this would be in an NFL comparison? And this isn't to be no band. This is like if Abdul Carter, with the talent he has already, went to not only Micah Parsons for training, went to Myles Garrett for muscle training, went to Reggie White for pass rush power moves, went to Lawrence Taylor for cocaine, and just said, yo, let me just combine it all in one season, and just goes off for 20 sacks.
You know, if I were
in the first 5 games.
I'm so glad you said that. I'm glad you said you're making a lot of fun, good, and funny points because that's a great comparison. But you know what else you can say? Victor Wembanyama is the Shohei Ohtani of the NBA.
No. There is no doubt about that. That's
look at this. Look at it like this.
Max.
Well, say your part, and I want to say mine.
Max, you don't do that. That's not Shohei Ohtani, Max. That's my player that I'm using right now. That's Tay.
If I were to put comparison to another player in a different league, let's look at it like this. No. You're right though. He's my player. All right, especially in the new 2K where you can make Max, a 7'4".
Max, it's like if Shohei Ohtani went to Babe Ruth in heaven for wisdom on hitting home runs, and this is like he went for Alex Rodriguez on steroids. And it's like he went for pitching. It's like he just talked to Kershaw, the Goose.
No, dude, I'm going to analyze
all the greatest people ever.
Just trust me. I'm going to analyze this right now and why this is the perfect comparison. All right, I'm going to restart this because this is going to be a perfect clip. Oh, my God. We're going viral, Trey. We're probably not, but Victor Wembanyama, okay? Victor Wembanyama is the Shohei Ohtani of the NBA. Let's break it down, all right? We're talking about two-way players, all right? In the NBA, a two-way player is someone who can defend and play offensively.
Not just defend interior and exterior.
Exactly, in any aspect, all right? A two-way player in the MLB, which is rare, is someone who can pitch and hit, all right? Now, it's one thing being a two-way player. It's another being good as a two-way player, all right? You even see it in the NFL with Travis Hunter, but he's too young to really compare him and put him along those.
Oh, don't worry. I got a comparison for that. Was coming right up next after you're done.
I want to say this. When you look at Victor Wembanyama, on the offensive side, he can shoot. He can drive. He can dribble. He can dunk. He could finish, whether dunking or laying the ball. He can read a defense and pick them apart. As a playmaker, he can bring the ball up the court at 7'5". Defensively, he can play on the perimeter. He can steal the ball. He's got good hands. He can block the ball. And he is a paint monster. When you look at Shohei Ohtani, he is one of the best hitters, not home run hitters, contact hitters in the NBA. He had 50 home runs on multiple occasions in the MLB, okay? He can run on the base path and steal for 50 bags and have 10 strikeouts in the same game. Look at those two. It is the best comparison, and nobody can tell me otherwise. I know it's two completely different sports, but look at it. Two-way player. But not only are they two-way players in their respective sports, they are arguably the best in the pitching side. I can't really say about Shohei in pitching because he struggled a little bit, but you get the point. They are one of the best on both sides. And that's why we call them unicorns. We thought Kristaps Porzingis was going to be a unicorn. No, that dude's horn just got broken apart. Okay?
The day he dunked on you.
When he dunked on Giannis, the magic disappeared. And then here comes Victor Wembanyama X amount of years later.
Can you just please I'm gonna say a couple more things and I'm gonna rest my case about this. And here's let's start it off. Just imagine I'm your coach, right? Mm-hmm. And let's say, for example, who's he playing next? Bam Adebayo and Kel'el Ware?
And Tyler Hero, technically. Or are you talking about who his matchup is?
Yeah, Tyler Hero's
Tyler Hero's out. Okay.
But so imagine. Okay, hey, I'm Eric Spoelstra. Hey, Bam. So we got an assignment for you this week. I think you can handle it. It's 34 points per game, 18 rebounds per game, 3 blocks, a steal, and 2 assists just to add on top add the cherry on top. Victor Wembanyama.
60% from the field, by the way.
60% from the field, by the way. And he's also 7'4" with like an 8-foot wingspan. and he also has the potential of being like a Shaq and Stephen Curry jumper and a Kyrie Irving.
36% from three.
He dribbles like AI. He shoots like Curry. He has Mamba mentality all of a sudden. He has Kevin Garnett anger issues. He dunks like Shaq. He kicks people in the nuts like Draymond. I'm just saying, we got a lot of stuff going on here. You got to guard that. Good luck, champ.
That's your scouting report, buddy.
Scouting report, buddy. No. But seriously, about this dude.
I could talk about Wemby all day, bro. He's awesome.
I could too, but this is what I'm going to end on. And I got one more comparison for you because you stole my comparison, but it's okay. You didn't say it yet. That's like Travis Hunter. Mm-hmm. Asking for the wisdom.
Here we go.
Jerry Rice. I'm not done. Terrell Owens. Megatron. A prime Odell Beckham Jr. One hand and stuff. And then asking his former coach, which actually happens, Deion Primetime Sanders, Champ Bailey, a prime Marshawn Lattimore, and so many other elite cornerbacks.
I'm mad at you. You said Marshawn Lattimore before Darrelle Revis. Show him some love.
Listen, I'm sorry, bro. I wasn't thinking about Jets. I'm sorry.
Darrelle Revis had one of the greatest seasons of all time.
So I'm sorry. I'm going to replay that. Darrelle Revis.
Thank you.
That's like asking all these dudes and just saying, hey, I wonder if I get the work ethic of Jerry Rice, the hands of Odell Beckham Jr. before he came out of his prime, the foot speed and the route running of Randy Moss, and the speed of Tyreek Hill, the agility of Terrell Owens, the capability to play off of injuries like Terrell Owens. And then if I could just be a cornerback like my coach Primetime and just take pick sixes to the crib like it's nothing, have the mentality of him, be able to have Travis Hunter Island just like how Darrelle Revis taught me. And then just be able to pick stuff like Champ Bailey and then to play zone as elite as Charles Woodson. I think I'll be great. And I rest my case on that. Turn me off.
Yeah. Victor Wembanyama. Now I want to ask you a question. We didn't think it'd be this year. We thought he'd be in contention for it. Do you think he's going to win the MVP this year?
Bro, don't even ask me dumb questions like that, bro. If anybody else wins the MVP, it's a scam. It's a scam.
If he stays healthy.
Luka does. I don't care what nobody does.
Listen.
If he plays 65 games, I don't even care if he doesn't stay. If he plays 65 games, he's winning MVP.
Yep. I know. I agree.
They're making it to the Western Conference Finals. Mark my words.
That's not crazy. It's not. I'll be honest. That's not crazy. If he stays healthy, he's gonna have.
That team is low key back to being legit again. Like,
good luck to the West, Victor Wembanyama. And you know what? You want to hear something even? You want to hear something even more scary? Okay. Hey Trey, he's only 21.
Bro, just picture that.
He's not even in his prime.
He's younger than us, and he's already a grown man.
He's not even in his prime, dude.
Think about a 21-year-old that we verse nowadays. And like, let's say we go to the rec center and we verse a 21-year-old. That's not a 21-year-old. That man is 30 years old, in his prime, has won 7 championships, is the next great.
He's the next great. And I think when it's all said and done about his career, we're going to have a serious conversation about where he stands. And I know it's very early to say that, but just look at what he's doing.
If his injuries don't overtake him, bro,
we're going to
be one of the greatest.
We're going to have a very serious convection about the top 3 greatest. He's going to be in there if he can do this.
Honestly, if he wins a championship within the next few years, he's already greater than Giannis. I'm sorry.
Oh, that's fair. No, that's fair.
Giannis,
just look at what he's done, because Giannis didn't really come to be until later.
Giannis is a monster. Now everybody's gonna probably flame me for that.
That's fair. No.
But bro, if he wins a championship in the next few years, he's already better.
I love Giannis, and I think he's better than Giannis right now.
I think skill wise, I think he is right now.
Yeah, dude.
Bro, Giannis is the most dominant person inside. He might have just took that from him in the midst of a couple games.
You know what? We're going to let's come into agreement. It's got to be unanimous between you and me. All right. Let's skip our lines, okay? Because there's nothing really special going on right now, if I'm being really honest. Besides the World Series, I don't have
Victor Wembanyama for 30. I'm taking over on 31.5.
So let's skip
on everything. I'm taking the over.
Let's skip
except for turnovers.
Our specific segments, okay? And let's just talk about Wemby for the last, let's say 5 minutes. What do you say?
I'm okay with
maybe
that.
Maybe a little less.
I'm not gonna lie. You're starting Siddums this week. I'll just air him out real quick. Start Josh Allen. Start Jonathan Taylor. Start Kimani Vital. Start Rashee Rice. Bench Theo Johnson, Khalil Shakir, Xavier Worthy, and Rico Dowdle. Don't ask me questions. If you want to ask me questions, comment or text me. Thank you.
I was gonna do a line. It was gonna be a parlay that FanDuel actually gives you, but here's what I'll give you. Here's a new line. Whatever the over is on rebounds, points, and blocks for Wembanyama, take the over.
Right?
Whatever the line is, take the over.
Alternate, right? Where he'll probably need about points, rebounds, and assists. They have they do the points, rebounds, and blocks instead, and it's like, well, you take the over, and it's usually like 42.5. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
42.5.
You know, listen.
Whatever it is,
take the over. Take the over on that, man.
If bro goes 5-0, respectfully.
Listen, call us Glazers all you want.
No, this isn't glazing. This isn't glazing.
This is insane. This is
your my player. Hey, look at me dead straight in the face right now. This is your my player on crack.
Like, dude,
this is what you dreamed your my player would be in park.
Like, I'll be honest. This is what the fuck Wilt Chamberlain was doing, minus his skill set. His skill set wasn't like this. All he could do, listen, from
this is like seeing Wilt Chamberlain minus the 1,000 bodies.
Like it was actually 20,000.
Sorry, minus the 20,000 bodies.
Listen, dude. It's
Max. I want you to look. You see that picture over there?
That is Magic Johnson and Larry Bird.
No. Look up.
That's Allen Iverson.
That's the dribbling moves he has.
Okay.
Now look down. I want you to look down.
That's Larry Bird to the left and Magic Johnson to the right.
That's the shooting he has. Now who's to the right of Larry Bird?
Magic Johnson.
That's the passing he has. You wanna know who else? Max, I wouldn't even doubt it anymore. Who's that guy number 12 over there?
That's Joe Namath.
That's the quarterbacking he has. Who's that guy number 43?
That's Troy Polamalu.
That's the safety he has. Bro, he can do anything he wants in this world and he will be a god. It's like if Thanos got all the Infinity Stones.
That is what he is.
That is Garnett. One was Allen Iverson. One was Curry. And one was Hakeem Olajuwon.
You're going to drop your computer.
One was Hakeem Olajuwon. And then who would be the fifth stone? Kevin Durant. Oh, God. Oh, my God. He's finna beat all of our team.
The NBA's in so much trouble, dude.
I don't know if I want to watch basketball no more.
No, I
want to watch basketball. I'm not gonna lie. I might go watch the Spurs game now. I might go see the Knicks versus the Spurs live now, purposely.
You can't, dude. When you can't because they're gonna hike the tickets to like $400.
I'm paying it. I'm selling the deed to my house for it.
Bro, he's insane. The downfall of the Spurs is probably gonna be either his potential injuries or how everyone else plays. But everyone else is playing really good beside him, so I don't know. I really don't know. Oh my God. Listen. All right. For those who don't know about me, I am a late bloomer when it comes to basketball. I started watching basketball in the 2017-18 season, and that's when I started following the New York Knicks. I was 13 years old, maybe 12 or 13. I was getting ready to push 13.
Well, it's 2025, so you just got to do minus 8 years.
22. 13, we'll say like 13, 14, all right? That's when I really started to get into basketball.
14, yeah. About 13, 14, yeah.
Around that time, I would watch Hardwood Classics on NBA TV. I would memorize the stats of any and every NBA player that was at least relevant or even was a role player for that matter on almost any team you could think of. Played 2K17 religiously and NBA Live 18 because I did not play NBA 2K18. I was not playing that. I'll be honest. Played 2K19, 2K20. I paid attention. I analyzed this because I wanted basketball to be my career. I didn't know how, but I knew. From all the stuff that I've seen, from any film that I was able to find from Bill Russell to Wilt Chamberlain, to seeing Wilt Chamberlain's numbers, this shit makes no sense. I have asked my father, who has been an NBA basketball fan since the 70s, and he's like, I don't know. I don't know what I'm watching.
You want to know what I want to say towards this Wemby thing, actually? So I don't want to say anything graphic, and I don't want to say anything disgusting. So I'm going to paraphrase a little bit, all right? You remember when Shannon Sharp and Ocho were on their talk show, and Shannon Sharp was asking what happens if you and your girl break up, and he's like, "Ocho, I'm putting something on somebody that night." That's what Wemby is doing to players that he versus every night. He's being a Shannon Sharp. He's being that's my Michelle. he's being that. That's what he's doing to everybody each and every night. How would you feel if that was you?
The NBA.
I would be like,
you could say you could say it like this: Wemby's just dogging through the league right now.
He's literally laughing every single time he goes up the court. It's like he's like, you're finna get your ankles taken, right?
You know you're about to get cooked right now, right?
You're about to get cooked right now, right? Let me show you how it's done, young blood. You're 21. Like, what do you mean? What do you mean? What do you mean, young blood?
Listen.
I said, who you banging around, KG? Let me show you how it's done, young bull. My God.
I think we have to cut it here because
we're going to. My sternum hurt just thinking about.
We're gonna have to because dude, guys, Victor Wembanyama is going to be a topic of conversation a lot throughout this podcast, and we have just started recently, and we made predictions about him. But you said it best, Trey. We didn't know it was going to be like this.
I'm going to tell you what. If Victor Wembanyama is the MVP of the league, I'm going to come in that next podcast once he gets announced that, as long as we're still doing it, with the Victor Wembanyama jersey, but a whole Victor Wembanyama jersey, stuffed animal, and bobblehead.
I'm going to hold you to that because he might win the MVP.
Deal.
Okay.
I'll do it. Deal.
Guys, thank you so much.
Even if he beats the Knicks, I'll be salty, but deal.
Dude, he might get one. We played them twice. He might get one.
Oh, no, he's definitely going to get one. But,
he might get one. But Trey, do you want to close this out? I always close it out.
Hey, thank you guys very much for all the love and support. Appreciate all the family members, the friends, and even the new people that we don't know supporting us. I just want to say, everybody stay up, stay blessed, keep God first, and we'll see you guys next time.
It's not a game, it's a rich thing.